WWE Raw moving to Netflix? Just time for me to move on.
Now available. Paperback and Kindle Unlimited. ISIS, the main event. It's carnage inside of a steel cage when the goddess next door steps in the squared circle with the beast from the boss in this action-packed all-new ISIS series adventure. Get ISIS, the main event, in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today.
WWE Raw, the World Wrestling Entertainment's flagship show, is moving from cable over to streaming services. Now, Endeavor, the company that now owns World Wrestling Entertainment after Vince McMahon sold the company to them for billions of dollars, has now signed a $5 billion deal to host the flagship show WWE Raw on the Netflix platform for the next 10 years with an option to cancel that deal in 5. Now, the entire internet was abuzz as related to this decision by WWE to move over to streaming, and many people were shocked by this decision to take WWE content off of broadcast television and move it over to streaming services like Netflix. Now, this deal basically on the surface sounds like a good one in the short term for WWE, which gets $5 billion in cash for broadcasting their exclusive content on Netflix. However, this deal may be a bad one in the long term for WWE because with the whole state of streaming being in a very unstable place, this deal could go sour and could go sour very quickly. Now, when it comes to streaming services, many of the streaming services out here have been struggling, and they've been struggling because the market has been completely saturated with so many streaming services that the cost of them is coming to the point where it's just almost like basic cable. And many WWE fans who are already paying for basic cable may basically scoff at the idea of having to pay another $20 or more in order to be able to watch WWE's flagship show and be able to continue following the storylines that take place as related to the WWE universe. So most of those people might feel slighted as related to having to pay for a Netflix subscription in addition to basic cable, and with Netflix now costing $15 to $20 a month, they may not really want to go out and pay extra in order to watch WWE content, considering that you had other streaming services like Peacock, which were $5 a month, or you had a streaming service like Tubi, which could have given WWE an even better deal as related to it being free. Now, Tubi is the one that's growing as a streaming service, and I would have thought that WWE would have signed a deal with them, with Tubi being owned by Fox, and it would have been a better deal, but they decided to go with Netflix, and Netflix is not really a place that many people would possibly want to go, again, because of the high cost of streaming. But what I think that they think at WWE is that people are dependent on this content, and because they are so invested in the stories, they will look to run over to Netflix to pay the cost in order to see premium content. Now, WWE and Netflix say that there will be no ads in Raw, and there's a benefit that they believe is there that you can watch Raw at any time on Netflix. However, I think that this could possibly backfire, and I believe it could possibly backfire because, again, the high cost of Netflix is one that most people really wouldn't want to pay, and Netflix's overall content really hasn't been that great, and many of the streaming services don't really have great content that make you really care about investing money in watching it or investing time in watching anything on them. Now, I have watched many streaming services, and again, most of the content is like syndication on steroids, it's primarily just reruns and repeats of old TV shows, old movies, and not really a lot of fresh content. And when it comes to wrestling, yeah, I like wrestling as a wrestling fan, but I don't really like it to the point where I want to go out and continue to spend money on streaming services in order to watch it. So when it comes to Raw, when they move over to Netflix, that's where I gotta cut my investment in WWE, charge them to the game, and keep it moving, because at that $20 a month, I can use that for other more important things than investing in in the stories of pro wrestlers. And with there being other wrestling content on cable and broadcast TV, you'll have NXT on CW, you'll have SmackDown on USA, and you'll have possibly Dynamite on television. Still, there's other options out here, and I believe NWA is coming to CW as well. So everybody's moving to broadcast TV in order to sell their pay-per-views, but WWE is looking to make its content exclusive, and making your content exclusive may make it where people just start to tune out as related to WWE content, because again, $20 a month is a lot of money, and $15 a month is a lot of money, considering it's on Netflix. Now, I have my own personal reasons for not looking to even invest in Netflix at all, considering they still have that Cuties movie on there on that platform. And with the Cuties movie still on Netflix, I've got no interest in watching anything on that platform, because as long as that trash movie is there, I will never spend a dime on Netflix ever again. So, as it related to the WWE, I had started watching it again about 4 or 5 years ago, but this is where I basically are going to put an end to my watching of WWE content, and I'm going to find something else to do on Monday nights, because I'm not going to be spending money on Netflix, and I'm not going to be spending money on a platform that still continues to keep a disgusting movie like Cuties on its platform. So when it comes to WWE Raw moving to Netflix, this is where I'm gonna be moving on. Yeah, if I see something on Twitter talking about a match, I might take a look at it, and if I see some YouTube clips, I might take a look at it. But as for watching WWE Raw, this is where I have to step off the Raw train and move on to my next destination as related to building something for myself. This is where I will take that time that I watch WWE Raw and focus on something else more productive. And this is where I'm going to go out and move on to something new and different, because I've already, as I see it, if you want me to pay for content and you want me to pay super high prices, that's where I gotta leave. I mean, even Peacock didn't charge that much. You could watch WrestleMania for $5, but as for watching a cable show for $20, no thanks. It's time for me to move on, and it's time for me to move on from WWE's universe to working on building a better SJS Direct universe. Now, if you want to pick up my book that pays homage to my love of pro wrestling, ISIS the Main Event, you can find that book on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format, and you can also find many of the other books in the SJS Direct universe, like the ISIS series, the Esteem series, the John Haynes series, the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, and my vampire novel, Eternal Night. You can find all those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, Google Play, and Barnes & Noble. And if you want to see me make more videos about entertainment and sports entertainment, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Coming to paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, Illuminati. The man who rules the world takes on the head of the global elite in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes series adventure. Pre-order your copy of John Haynes, Illuminati on Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.